gives big decision regarding Hindu marriage. Hindu marriage is a sanskar. Marriage will be valid with proper ceremonies. Scientists discovered Taam blue hole. Blue hole is 420 meters deep below sea level, situated in Chetumal Bay. India-Nigeria bilateral joint trade committee meeting held in Abuja. Discussion on economic relations, agreed on local currency settlement system agreement. Orangutan was seen performing treatment for the first time. A carpooning medicinal plant was used in the treatment. Orangutan is famous for its cognitive ability. Nitroplast, discovered the first known organelle inside a eukaryotic cell, will help in nitrogen fixation. Recently, the Supreme Court gave a big decision regarding Hindu marriage, in which it was stated that Hindu marriage is a sanskar to be recognized under the HMA, that is Hindu Marriage Act 1955. The marriage must be performed with proper ceremonies. The court clarified that without these rites and ceremonies, the marriage cannot be recognized under Hindu law, even if a marriage certificate is issued. This observation of the Supreme Court has come on the application of the pilot couple. In fact, it was said in the application that their marriage was not valid because no ceremonies or rites were performed. They claimed to have solemnized their marriage based on a marriage certificate obtained from a local religious organization. Following disagreements, the couple approached the Supreme Court with a plea to exercise its powers under Article 142 of the Constitution to declare the marriage void. Article 142 empowers the apex court to do complete justice between the parties at a time where law or statute cannot provide any remedy. During the hearing of this case, the court said that to legally recognize a Hindu marriage, there should be proof of performance of the required rites under Section 7 of the Hindu Marriage Act, including Saptapadi. Let us tell you that under Section 7 of the Hindu Marriage Act 1955, a Hindu marriage can be solemnized according to the traditional rites and ceremonies of either party. Where such rites and ceremonies involves Saptapadi, that is, 7 rounds jointly performed by the bride and groom in front of a sacred fire, and only after the 7th round, the marriage is considered complete. Recently, the researchers have discovered the world's deepest blue hole located in Chetumal Bay, Mexico. It is known as Taam blue hole. The studies suggest that it reaches a depth of 420 meters below sea level, making it deeper than other known blue holes. The new measurements reached the mesopelagic zone where there is less sunlight and a higher concentration of marine life. It is worth mentioning that the depth of Taam blue hole is more than the blue holes like Sansha Yongle blue hole in the South China Sea and Dean's blue hole in Bahamas. Let us tell you that blue holes are vertical caves filled with water which are found in the coastal areas. Its foundation stone is made of soluble material limestone, marble or gypsum. Their shape is usually in the form of a circular steep walled pit. They are named for the dramatic contrast between the deep blue of the deep water at their depth and the light blue of the shallow waters that surround them. At the same time, it usually contains fresh marine or mixed chemical water with tidal effect. They extend below sea level for most of their depth, which act as biological hotspots hosting diverse marine life including corals, sponges, mollusks, sea turtles and sharks. Let us inform you that Chetumal Bay is a large bay of the Western Caribbean Sea on the southern coast of the Yucatan Peninsula. It is located in northern Belize and southeastern Mexico. Recently, the second session of the India-Nigeria Joint Trade Committee was held in Abuja. In this session, emphasis has been laid on adopting local currency settlement system agreement to strengthen economic relations between the two countries. At the same time, digital economy and digital public infrastructure have been identified to focus more, while many important sectors like crude oil and natural gas, pharmaceuticals, etc. have also been identified. During this period, both sides focused on various areas to increase bilateral trade and mutually beneficial investment. These include resolving market access issues of both sides and cooperating in unified payments interface, power sector and renewable energy sector. While cooperation is included in major areas like agriculture and food processing, transport, railways, aviation, micro, small medium enterprises development and education. It is noteworthy that during this session, a concrete step has been taken to promote bilateral trade. Under this, both sides have also expressed their commitment to quickly resolve the problems hindering bilateral trade and to promote trade between the two countries. Let us tell you that Nigeria is India's second largest and major trading partner in the Africa region. Bilateral trade between India and Nigeria is expected to be $11.8 billion in 2022-23. Whereas due to decline in bilateral trade in the year 2023-24, it was $7.89 billion. Recently, the launch of the Boeing Starliner was postponed once again. The company postponed its first spacecraft launch due to a valve problem in the rocket. It is noteworthy that this would have been the first crewed test flight of the Starliner. If the mission was successful, Boeing would become the second private firm along with Elon Musk SpaceX to be able to provide transportation to NASA crews to and from the space station. Talking about this mission, its objective is to see how Starliner performs in space with a crew on board. It is believed that it will have to dock with the ISS for about 10 days after launch. Let us tell you that the Starliner is a partially reusable crew capsule which is officially known as CST-100 or Crew Space Transportation. The capsule, 5 meters long and 4.6 meters wide, consists of two modules. There is a crew module which can accommodate 7 astronauts. However, for trips to the space station, it will be modified for 4 astronauts and cargo. The crew module can be reused up to 10 times with a 6-month turnaround. Recently, the United States of America has accused Russia of using chloropicrine as a chemical weapon against Ukrainian forces. Russia has also been accused of using it as tear gas on the battlefield in Ukraine, due to which it is being considered a violation of the global ban on chemical weapons. Actually, tear gas, which is also called lacrimator, is a group of substances that damage the mucous membrane of the eyes. This causes stinging and tears in the eyes. It also blocks the upper respiratory tract and causes disorders like cough, suffocation, and physical weakness. Let us tell you that chloropicrine is also known as PS and nitrochloroform. It is a chemical compound. It is currently used as a deadly insecticide and nematicide. It can generally be used in both gas and liquid forms. It is highly active, even a small drop of which can be fatal. However, this chemical weapon was used as a poisonous gas in the First World War, which Germany used against the Allied countries. Chloropicrine is listed as a banned choking agent by the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. This Hague-based organization was established to implement and monitor the Chemical Weapons Convention of 1993. Let us inform you that the Chemical Weapons Convention is an international treaty. Its objective is to eliminate the production, stockpiling, and use of chemical weapons and their precursors. This treaty was adopted in 1992 and came into force in 1997. At present, it has 193 member countries. It makes it mandatory to destroy old and abundant chemical weapons. It is noteworthy that India signed this treaty in 1993. Recently, researchers have found nitroplast, where a prokaryotic cell is encased by a eukaryotic cell, leading to the development of nitrogen-fixing subcellular structures. These nitroplasts co-evolve with their host cells and fulfill the main organelle criteria, integrating with host cell functions, synchronizing with cell growth, and being inherited during cell division. It is noteworthy that nitrogen gas makes up about 78% of the Earth's atmosphere. It is a major component in the proteins and DNA of all living organisms. Let us tell you that nitrogen fixation is the process by which nitrogen is taken into the atmosphere in its molecular form and is converted into nitrogenous compounds useful for other biochemical processes. Bacteria and archaea help convert atmospheric nitrogen gas to ammonia by nitrogen fixation, making the nitrogen useful for plants. Nitrogen-fixing bacteria are found in the root nodules of plants of the legume family. These bacteria include Rhizobium, Azotobacter, etc. Let us inform you that the nitrogen cycle is an important biogeochemical cycle which explains the transformation and circulation of nitrogen in different forms within the ecosystem. To complete the nitrogen cycle, ammonia is converted into nitrite and nitrate with the help of bacteria, and then it is converted back into atmospheric nitrogen. Whereas in marine environments, bacteria and archaea are also involved in ammonification, nitrification, and denitrification. Recently, the Government of India celebrated International Sun Day on 3rd May 2024. The day is celebrated annually to commemorate the significant benefits of solar energy in promoting a green and healthy planet. At the same time, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy also organized a Run for Sun Marathon in New Delhi on this occasion. This marathon is designed to reduce climate change and promote a cleaner and healthier future. At the same time, through the marathon, India has also expressed a strong commitment towards solar energy and environmental sustainability. Let us tell you that on this occasion, the ministry has also announced Solart, an all-India intra-school solar art competition to commemorate the International Sun Day, which will be engaging and educational way of celebrating solar energy through artistic expressions. It aims to promote creativity and awareness about solar energy among school students in India. Let us inform you that to meet the energy needs of the country, the central government has started Suryodaya Yojana. Its objective is to install solar energy systems on the rooftops of 1 crore houses in the country. At the same time, by using this electricity generated from sunlight, electricity consumption in daily life is to be reduced. Apart from this, the government has also started an initiative called PM Kusum. Through this initiative, farmers are to be made self-reliant by generating solar energy on barren land. ICAR, Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute, has made a big revelation about the coral reefs present in Lakshadweep. According to research, coral bleaching is threatening the diverse marine ecosystems of Lakshadweep. It is noteworthy that Lakshadweep is in the grip of marine heat waves from October 2023. According to experts, if the water does not cool down, the corals of Lakshadweep may die due to bleaching. Similar to corals, seagrass meadows, kelp forests are also experiencing harmful effects such as impaired photosynthesis and disruption of reproductive functions due to heat waves. Heat waves threaten the livelihoods of coastal communities, tourism and fishing sectors, and critical marine habitats, including seagrass beds. Coral reefs are sessile animals staying firmly attached to the ocean floor. They come in two types, hard and soft. Over millions of years, the skeletons of stony corals build up, forming intricate coral reefs known as the rainforest of the sea. These reefs provide habitats for countless marine species, supporting vibrant ecosystems. Talking about coral bleaching, this phenomenon occurs due to increase in sea temperature. In such a situation, corals expel the microscopic algae living in their tissues. Without these algae, the coral's tissues become transparent, exposing their white skeleton. This is called coral bleaching. According to experts, without their algae, corals can survive for about 2 weeks. Recently, scientists observed a unique behavior in the orangutan species. In fact, scientists observed an orangutan named Rakus in Indonesia using a medicinal plant, akar kuning, to treat a wound. It is noteworthy that orangutans are known for its cognitive abilities and observational learning. Let us tell you that in Malay language, orangutan means man of the forest. This species has a distinctive ape-like shape. They also have shaggy red fur and grasping hands and feet. They are the largest arboreal mammals, spending most of their time in trees. This species is considered to be the closest living species to humans. They share approximately 96% human genes and are the most intelligent creatures. It has 3 species, Bornean, Sumatran and Tapanuli, which differ slightly in appearance and behavior. This species can generally be found at an altitude of 1,500 meters above sea level. Most of them are also found in low-lying areas. Their main diet includes wild fruits like lychees, mangosteens and figs, but they also eat leaves, flowers, insects and small mammals. Let us inform you that the orangutan species is known as the gardener of the forest. They play an important role in seed dispersal and maintaining the health of forest ecosystems. After the news, now let's take a look at 5 questions related to the news. Questions based on today's bulletin are: first question is, consider the following statements with reference to Taam blue hole. 1. It is located in Chetumal Bay. 2. Its depth is 420 meters below sea level. 3. This is the second largest blue hole in the world after Sansha Yongle blue hole. How many of the above statements is or are incorrect? Only 1, only 2, all 3 or none of these. Next question is, consider the following statements with reference to chloropicrin. 1. It is an artificial intelligence tool. 2. It is a chemical compound also known as nitrochloroform. 3. It is used both as a warfare agent and insecticide. How many of the above statements is or are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none of these. Next question is, consider the following statements with reference to colorectal cancer. 1. It affects the large intestine or rectum. 2. Its risk is higher in people above 50 years of age. 3. Its treatment is possible with surgery, radiotherapy, and chemotherapy. How many of the above statements is or are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none of these. Now moving on to next question. Consider the following statements with reference to orangutan. 1. These are the smallest arboreal mammals living in the Amazon rainforest. 2. All orangutan species are classified as critically endangered under the IUCN Red List. 3. This species shares about 96% of human genes. How many of the above statements is or are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none of these. Last question is, consider the following statements with reference to nitroplast. 1. It is the first known organelle within a eukaryotic cell. 2. It plays a role in nitrogen fixing. How many of the above statements is or are correct? Only one, only two, both 1 and 2, or none of these. But while moving on, let us look at some small but important news. Recently, Kerala has issued an alert in Thrissur, Malappuram and Kozhikode districts after the detection of vector-borne West Nile fever. Actually, one person has died due to this disease and 6 other cases have been reported. West Nile virus is spread mainly by mosquito bites. It causes a fatal neurological disease in humans, but about 80% of those infected do not show any symptoms. Human infection often occurs through the bites of infected mosquitoes. Birds are natural hosts of the West Nile virus. In India, cases of West Nile fever were first detected in Kerala in 2011 when 208 cases of acute encephalitis syndrome were reported, and more than 40% of those cases were found to be West Nile fever. Recently, the 7th India-Indonesia Joint Defence Cooperation Committee meeting was held in New Delhi. During this meeting, it was agreed upon to expand the scope of defence cooperation between the two countries. Measures were also identified to improve defence industry ties, maritime security and multilateral cooperation. It is noteworthy that there is a comprehensive strategic partnership between India and Indonesia, and both the countries have the same vision for the Indo-Pacific region. Indonesia is an important partner of India's Act East policy and the Indo-Pacific region. Recently, the Areca Research Center at Shiv Moga found that the areca nut grown in Tirthahalli region is the best quality betel nut among the varieties grown in Karnataka. It is the seed of the areca palm and is an important cash crop of India. It is the 4th most commonly used psychoactive substance in the world after caffeine, nicotine and alcohol. According to statistics, about 600 million people chew it, with Southern Asia, especially India, Myanmar, Bangladesh and Pakistan being the areas of highest prevalence. Areca nut requires abundant and well-watered rainfall. It requires a temperature of 14 to 36 degrees Celsius. Laterite, red loam and alluvial soil are most suitable for this. The major states cultivating areca nut are Karnataka, Kerala, Assam, Tamil Nadu, Meghalaya and West Bengal. Recently, the Border Roads Organization celebrated its 65th Raising Day. Also, the Pan-India presence of the Border Roads Organization expresses its commitment towards national security, connectivity and development. Let us tell you that BRO was established in 1960. It was conceived by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru to coordinate rapid development of road construction in the northern and northeastern border areas of the country. It functions under the administrative control of the Ministry of Defence. It has brought a wide variety in the scale of construction and development works, including airfields, construction projects, defence works and tunnelling, and is very popular with the public. Recently, the 5th Joint Group of Customs meeting between India and Bhutan was held in Leh Ladakh. This meeting is co-chaired between the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, Government of India and the Department of Revenue and Customs, Ministry of Finance of the Royal Government of Bhutan. Opening of the new land customs stations and notifying new trade routes, development of infrastructure and many other bilateral issues were discussed in the meeting. Let us tell you that India is the top trading partner country of Bhutan, both as a source of imports and exports. Since 2014, India's trade with Bhutan has tripled from $484 million to $1,615 million by 2022-23, which is about 80% of Bhutan's total trade. Increasing connectivity with Bhutan is important in line with India's Neighbourhood First and Act East policy. India's first indigenous bomber unmanned aircraft FWD-200B has been unveiled in Bengaluru recently. It has been developed by company Flying Wedge Defence. It has been inspired by the commitment to reduce India's dependence on imports of expensive bomber unmanned aircraft and promote Make in India initiative. The FWD-200B has a payload capacity of 100 kg, while its maximum speed is 200 knots or 370 km per hour. It is classified as a MALE unmanned combat aerial vehicle, medium altitude, long endurance. MALE refers to medium height, long span vehicles. The unmanned aerial systems carry optical surveillance payloads and are integrated with weapons such as missiles for precision air strikes. Recently, the traditional artisans of Kutch Ajrak of Gujarat have been provided with a GI tag. Let us tell you that this tag has been provided by the Controller General of Patents, Designs and Trademarks. It is a traditional textile craft of Gujarat. This textile craft is spread across the regions of Sindh, Bardmer and Kutch. The art of Ajrak involves hand-block printing on treated cotton fabric, creating intricate designs of history. It is noteworthy that the word Ajrak is derived from the Arabic word Ajrak meaning blue, which refers to the predominant color obtained through indigo dyes. Ajrak prints traditionally include three colors: blue, which symbolizes the sky, red, which symbolizes earth and fire, and white, which symbolizes the stars. These textiles are treated with vegetable and mineral dyes. During this time, the clothes have to go through the washing cycle about 8 times. It is noteworthy that Ajrak is a craft that has existed for more than 4,000 years. Recently, the World Press Freedom Index 2024 was released. This reflects an overall decline in press freedom globally and a sharp increase in political repression of journalists and independent media outlets. It is an annual report released by the global media watchdog Reporters Without Borders. Norway and Denmark occupy the top positions in this index. Eritrea was at the bottom of the list, while Syria was slightly ahead of it. India's rank has improved from 161 in 2023 to 159 in 2024, but the score fell from 36.62 to 31.28. In the index, Pakistan is ranked 152nd, Sri Lanka 150th, Nepal 74th and Maldives 106th. Recently, 163rd birth anniversary of Rabindranath Tagore was celebrated. He was born on May 7, 1861 in Calcutta. He is known by many names like Gurudev, Kabi Guru and Biswa Kabi. He was also a Bengali poet, novelist and painter. He presented Indian culture in the West very effectively. He also emphasized that unity in diversity is the only possible way of national integration of India. He has composed more than 2,000 songs and his songs and music are called Rabindra Sangeet. He is considered responsible for the modernization of Bengali prose and poetry. His notable compositions include Gitanjali, Ghare Bair, Gora, Mansi, Balaka, Sonar Tori, etc. He is remembered for his song Ekla Chalo Re. He was given the Nobel Prize in the field of literature in the year 1913 for his poetry composition Gitanjali. In the year 1921, he established Vishwa Bharati University, which challenged traditional education. Recently, a new species of marine tardigrade has been discovered in intertidal marine sediments in Mandapam, Tamil Nadu. It was discovered by Cochin University of Science and Technology. Researchers have named it Betelgeuse chandrayani after the Chandrayaan-3 mission. It grows to a length of 0.15 mm and a width of 0.04 mm. It has a trapezoidal-shaped head and 4 pairs of legs with sharp-tipped sensory spines. It is the 39th species in the genus Betelgeuse. Let us tell you that tardigrades are commonly known as water bears. However, they are not related to actual bears. Of all known tardigrade species, 17% are marine tardigrades and they are also found in all oceans. For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.